This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Being terminally ill when dating was like, people were like, is it hard to date? And I'm like, what guy in their early 20s doesn't love like a guaranteed short-term commitment? It's like, no, it's not hard to.
We're dating.
Okay, cool. All right. What's up? We're dating.
We're dating.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
I'm Alejandro.
And here we have Kirsten. Michelle Cills.
That's it. Yeah. You nailed it. Yeah.
You can tell how confident I was
Yeah,
the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you put a question mark on that?
Because like as we get like we've been doing this for like what 5 months now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and like every time we do it, it's always like evolving and like. But yeah, it's the opening 5 minutes. That's the weirdest part. Yeah, if you're nodding like you're at an NPR song. Ted's like, very good point, Rachel. Yes. But yeah, like it's the first 5 minutes. I never know what the hell to do to like introduce somebody.
We're on the same. Are we on the same podcast network? Is that? Are we?
We are. We're siblings in a way.
Yeah.
All under Daddy Neil.
Do you like that, Daddy Neil?
Thank you, Daddy Neil.
Should I do it too now?
Yeah.
I don't know. He says, all right. All right, it's June. It's Pride Month.
We're all calling him Daddy Neil.
Yeah.
It's like,
Daddy!
Daddy. All right, and we can bring that back.
That's fun.
That's forever. Okay, but yeah, wait, what's your podcast?
My podcast is called Dying Up Here, and it is also on the Drop Tent Network. And it is a podcast with my co-host, Jamie Pappas, where we talk about dying and death. We talk about her dad dying before she was born. We talk about me having a terminal illness.
Nice.
And we talk about... roasting the fuck out of each other.
Beautiful.
Talk about hurt and feelings.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we've like the vibe is pretty similar. I don't know, we talk about like sex and stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you like sex?
Very much so. Very pro. Yes. Growing up, my mom was a high school sex ed teacher.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Come from a family of little freaks.
I love that.
Did you get like the full like the full education? Like, was she just like, this is your clitoris? People gonna pretend they don't know where it is?
Yeah.
You can point it out to them.
Way too young too. Yeah. And then she was like, don't, because we had like the books on our bookshelf were like some of her textbooks from school and stuff. And I would like go through them. And I remember she like sat me down and gave me like the sex talk. And I was probably like 5 or 6, and because I was going through them and asking questions, and she was like, now don't go to school, you have to not go to school and tell the other kids because their parents will tell them when they're ready. And I went the next day and I told fucking everybody incorrectly. Everything I relayed was a little bit wrong. My mom said that when I used to say boys have penises and girls have lasagnas because I thought
Oh my God.
yes. Yeah.
Your mom was just like, he's a fucking idiot. I can't believe this.
Like, you're making me look bad. I'm a professional.
Yeah, no, I didn't get like, nobody told me about any other than like the nuts and bolts. But I thought for the longest time that a woman got pregnant through anal.
No way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the opposite of like the Catholic thing, right? It's like the Catholics tell you like you can only do anal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You're Catholic.
Yeah.
You're just
I'm still stuck on. I'm sorry, and the moment is already passed. But if girls have lasagnas and boys have pennes,
Yeah. It was right there.
So we're going very fast. But anyway,
My improv work as a kid was not great.
Wait, hold on. So what age? Okay, so sexually,
we're talking about first boyfriends, first girlfriends,
first
right?
boyfriends, first girlfriends. Okay, did you lose
You're
virginity?
just like, let's talk fucking.
Did you lose your virginity to your first boyfriend?
No, he was not my boyfriend at all.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
okay.
He was a boy I went to school with.
Nice.
And he was the leads in all the musicals.
Oh.
And therefore the hottest ticket in town.
So, yeah. Oh God, the amount of mediocre looking men that can get laid in theater.
Oh my God. And he was up there and he was playing the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors.
It's very hot.
16, sitting there like, oh my fucking God. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
God.
Yeah.
Wait, were you MT or were you acting?
I was acting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, minor in MT though.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
So wait, who's your first boyfriend?
First boyfriend was his name was Thane. I know.
It's a good one.
I know. Yeah.
Also theater, I
Yeah.
presume.
You'll never guess. Yeah, he was Seymour in that production of Don't worry.
Yes.
Okay.
His name was Thane. He was 2 years younger than me.
Ooh, cougar.
I know. Yeah, it was spicy at the time because like 15 and 17, right? Is like
Yeah.
only 2 years, but like I could drive and he couldn't.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we dated for like until I was like 18 or 19.
Oh wow, that's long term.
Yeah,
when
definitely like
in high
first
school.
love kind of first boyfriend.
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I definitely dated a lot of people before I fell in love.
Mm.
I was my first. Oh gosh, it depends. How early are we going with first boyfriend?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dated before that, but like,
My first boyfriend was Brody Williams, and I never saw him in real life.
What grade? What?
I never saw him in real life. His name was Brody Williams. He was my sister's friend's little brother, and we only spoke on the phone. But we never went on a date because my parents said I wasn't allowed to go on a date
How
because
old
I
were
was
you?
in 5th grade.
Okay, there you go.
that was I was about to be like, fuck them parents. That was a good call.
She like make it. But yeah, that's technically my first boyfriend. But then like, I don't know, my first like real deal boyfriend that I was like, oh, you're my boyfriend, I'm introducing you to people as my boyfriend, was Joey Doherty.
Okay, that sounds like
all right.
everyone's
Philly
first
comedy
boyfriend.
history.
Philly
Amazing.
comedy. Do you know Joey Doc?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, he's a Philly comic.
Oh, okay.
Redhead. He goes to where? Ortlieb's Mike.
Oh, wait. I totally know him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I dated him when I was 18. But he was my first like boyfriend.
I totally know. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. There's only so many redheads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like two.
Yeah, it wasn't Eddie Finn. Got it.
But yeah, we dated for 6 months.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of sex. Well, we hooked up for a year. And then after a year, he was just like, either we date or I'm out because I really like you and I don't want to do this ambiguous thing. And I was like, I guess we'll date. And so then we started to date. Yeah, I'm not a very enthusiastic girlfriend.
I feel you on that.
I'm never excited to be committed to someone.
Yeah, I'm definitely never giving like the enthusiasm that they're looking for. But even if I'm not showing, like are you like that? How are you in relationships?
I'm not in relationships much, so I guess I'm.
You suggested the theme.
We were talking about first boyfriends, first
Oh,
girlfriends.
okay.
We were talking about being single because that's something I can't talk about.
sure.
Oh, shit. Wait, yeah. How long have you been single?
Since 2010.
Wait, okay. Are you still dating? Are you guys?
I'm dating. Yes, I'm dating. Me and my weed dealer are getting a little bit more
Let's
serious.
fucking go.
But
Yeah.
we're not. We're at the doorstep of calling each other boyfriend. But for some reason I'm just very attached to calling you my weed dealer.
it's got a certain je ne sais quoi to it.
I'm fucking my weed dealer. Sounds very sexy
Yeah.
and very like,
Right.
ooh.
So I haven't been like single in the sense of like, oh, I've got nothing, but I haven't not had the boyfriend label since 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so sorry, I'm doing the I won't ask questions anymore.
No, it's
Sorry.
fair.
No,
It's
please.
fair.
Not my
Who is
podcast,
it?
sorry.
When Lou was on the podcast, he asked a bunch of questions,
Oh,
and we were both
so-
just like,
Yes,
suck me.
love
Like,
that.
wow, we love an engaged guest.
Yeah,
An
no,
active
I just
guest.
that's so interesting because 2010 I feel like was such a different time for dating. Like in terms of
You're fucking old.
right, like in terms of like the apps were not
Yeah.
even in the stratosphere.
Look, I did so much better before the apps.
Mm.
When it was just a matter of somebody in this building will have to be the one if you're looking to go home tonight. I did great
Yeah.
because like being 3-dimensional like in those spaces and like nobody was looking at their phones.
Yeah.
Now I sound old. Nobody's looking at their phones. No, not a phone in sight. Everybody just vibing.
Oh my god.
But yeah, when Woody's looked like a 1970s living room, like it was a great hookup spot. You'd go to the bar and someone would talk to you. You'd talk to someone because people were in that mindset of we have to get to talking.
Mhm.
Are you like a personality fuck?
Oh,
You're like,
absolutely.
talk to me for 5 minutes and you'll want to.
Yeah, I think that comes on better than just my face on a grid, which is a thumb, Yeah. Give me a chance to like talk to you a little bit.
It's
charm
like the
you.
people who do not do great when they like submit a resume but if they didn't get the interview, they're getting that job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that like I get a lot when people meet me after on the apps. Oh, you're a lot more feisty than I thought you'd be. I get a lot of people being like, you're totally different than I thought. And I'm just like, just because I like, well, and I know why. It's because I'm a very basic looking white brunette girl.
So they think like you're kind.
Right.
Yeah.
They think that I'm kind and patient and subdued and submissive. And I'm like, no. Like, absolutely not. Like, whatever sex we have is going to possibly be on stage at some point.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to become a bit like, it's very autobiographical. Anything can become material. And also, like, I grew up in a fucking, like, I present very white, but my mom's half Cuban. And I grew up, like, very culturally Latino on my mom's side.
Yeah.
And so it was just a lot of loud hens. I call my family a family of hens. And it's like, it's a term of endearment just because, like, we would all hang out, we'd all chat, and it was all very, like, friends, like we just fucking shot the shit and we're like loud and everything. And so like, but my dad's side was really like waspy and very quiet. And so it's like, I think like I present initially and then like, you get to know me a little bit, gloves come off and all of a sudden I'm just like loud and people don't expect it.
Yeah. I think because if you are, like a average white girl, what people expect, then people expect you grew up Catholic or Christian, I think is the thing. God. So then they assume like you have this sense of like the women should be quiet and the women should follow behind the men.
The women cook. And it's like, oh yeah, sure.
Women do two things. They cook and they shut the fuck up. It's kind of our thing.
So have you ever been, like on a first date where someone was like, oh, you're not what I thought?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So I try to keep the comedian thing like under wraps, even just socially. I think like,
oh wow,
like,
really?
I feel like, when I go out or like, if I'm traveling, like doing shows out and about and I'm just like, I don't know, getting food at a bar or like, getting my hair cut or something for like, what do you do for a living? I won't say I'm a comedian because the amount of questions it opens up. Like if I'm in the mood, if I'm feeling chatty, my Adderall just hit. Absolutely. Like here's my card. But most of the time I don't. So definitely and I also think it's kind of I don't know. Guys are very afraid of being talked about on stage. People in general. People love to be like, are you going to turn this into a bit?
Yeah.
Like, don't flatter yourself. This was not that engaging of an encounter.
I've had that happen on a first date. Yeah. Because like, it's one of those things where it slowly comes out. Like if I'm having like a good time, or if I think you're so fucking boring that I'm going to now make myself so interesting, I'm just like, I'm a comedian. Yeah. And they'll be like, oh my God. And then I'm just like, yes. Okay. Now this is, okay. I don't know if you guys feel this. Do you ever feel like you kill it on first dates and then other people are always like, I had such a good time on this date. It's like, I know, because I'm very engaging.
All the fucking time. Jamie and I were just talking about this on our pod about how we feel like people feel closer to us than we do to them sometimes because of the fact of like we are trained in the skill of engagement. And so a lot of people who day to day don't deal with performers are like, wow, we really hit it off. And I'm like, that's just how we talk to people. It's just like, I'm looking you in the eye. People don't look them in the eye a lot, I guess.
Oh my God. Yeah. People don't ask questions a lot. Right. It's like one of those things where it's like, no, I find you so boring. I have to pull information out of you because there's nothing that you're saying that makes me want to talk about anything.
Yeah. No, very much so. Do you ever feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like
you seem like such a pure person in comparison to how I'm presenting right now.
Yeah, and I always thought that like small brunette women were evil. That's not. I'm sorry.
Oh, and that is true. That absolutely true. I will mean glances, grudges will be held. I will be as cunty as humanly possible. Well, if you fuck with me.
Here's the thing, and here's what's like kind of blowing my mind as I sit here is that you are both so hot. You're both beautiful,
Thank you.
gorgeous women.
Thank you.
And so it is like, and so mine not being like a straight woman, but also like just not inhabiting, I will never know what it feels like to be like a cute girl and like get that kind of attention. And so I will know no part of that double-edged blade. I can only kind of sit and be like, wow, like I get a little bit, just a little bit sometimes, because in the last like year and a half, I have been working out, taking a little bit better care of myself.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that raises me up like half a tick in the cake, right?
I mean, pretty muscular.
Yeah. So sometimes guys around me will notice, they'll touch my arm and they'll be like, oh.
Uh-huh.
They're like, your face card declined, but the rest, like, we can finance the rest.
How dare they? So wait, have you actually noticed? Like,
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, especially guys will touch my chest now more. I was at like a game networking event about a month ago, and I just I was just talking to guys, and I just kept on noticing like just little hands kind of pawing at my titties.
oh my god!
Oh.
Yes.
How does it feel to be
I
objectified?
think so I think that's just a fraction, you know, like I just look at you with like this mix of like envy and also not envy, because obviously there's stuff that comes with it and kinds of attention that you don't want.
Right.
And like I can't pretend like it's all like, you know.
Well, yeah, like it's
Roses
one of
and
those things sometimes like you have to sort of like hide your asshole. Do you feel like you have to hide your asshole?
Go on. I'm listening.
You've got to hide your asshole.
I'm listening.
No, like you can't be like an overt asshole to people like
Yes.
often. And so you kind of have to like disguise like kind of, especially with like dudes who are like aggressive like at a bar, especially when they find out you're a comedian and they get like weirdly like intimidated, and so they become like macho around you, and you're like, okay, so I can't be as, so I have to be like witty and barbed, but I can't be so like fuck you, because like it's just not like they're gonna react so poorly, versus like if a guy can be more of an overt asshole.
Big time.
I feel like you have more asshole privileges.
Yes. Yeah. For sure. And we've talked before about being on your baddest behavior on a first date. I've definitely done that with guys where like I just kind of want to present sort of, you know, maybe some flaws, you know, some boorish, some rudeness, some annoying behaviors, you know, like just let it all hang out. Just because I'm like, if you're still into it after you've seen me like be annoying, then I know that maybe we're onto something here.
That's actually an interesting technique of like introducing it immediately, and that way it's not like a surprise later, and like you said, you're not wasting your own time.
Right.
That's actually a really good. What's the most asshole thing you've done on a first date?
I think is talk too much.
What?
No. I think that's probably the most asshole thing, is like I just decided, okay, well, you know what? Now I'm just gonna monologue. Now this is like a therapy session where I'm just talking about me and what my mind is like, and you're just gonna observe and marvel at the fucking
how amazing I am.
Yeah, it is this like
mind
ego.
is incredible.
I know. I've let it be an ego trip, because somebody wants to go out with you, and you go, oh, this person wants to go out with me. They want to fucking know all about me and hear about me talk. You know, so sometimes
you do what we do on dates. I'm like, I could never, and I'm like,
God,
that
they're
sounds
obsessed
eerily
with me. I can't keep living like this.
Yes. Like I'm sorry, I'm so interesting. I can't stop. I definitely, and also like, well, it's one of those things too, where it's like with comedy and like, you know, with like being like going to acting school and like having a podcast, like there is a level of like, I think like I can push you away by telling you how interesting I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's a very good point. Yeah. And I also feel like I have the kind of privilege. Well, so I feel like it was a privilege more so in like my early 20s of like the being terminally ill when dating was like, people were like, is it hard to date? And I'm like, what guy in their early 20s doesn't love like a guaranteed short-term commitment? Like, no, it's not hard to find guys who want to date a sick girl.
Do you ever like use it as like a thing? It's like, and also I'm terminal.
Yeah, right. As my like, I gotta go. Yeah,
but really bad date.
But also, you know, because you guys have been around actors, where like there's also a lot of actor guys who find that so fucking charming. They're like, I'm gonna be her fucking hero. I'm gonna be
her walk to remember.
I'm gonna be Landon in a walk to remember, and I'm gonna get so much pussy after her funeral.
Oh my God.
And now I feel like it's easy to like, if I want to use that as an excuse, I can, but I have to be careful, because some guys you can tell they're like the poetic kind of type who I'm like, oh, they're going to eat this shit up. That is going to it's going to make them feel so fucking good about themselves. But for the most part, yeah, it is like nice that I can drop in if I think that's not what they're interested in, you know.
I just feel like it, by the way. Wait, do you think that like you could date somebody and then you're just like, well, I'm terminal, and they're just like, okay, cool, short, and then like, because you're 30 now, the doctor said that wasn't happening.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be 30, but I turned 32 weeks ago. So yeah,
like started dating somebody at 22, and they're just like, what the fuck? She said it was gonna happen. Oh my God.
That's actually such a funny bit of somebody who's like signed up for something like thinking it was gonna be quick, and then they're like, Now she's fucking 30.
Okay,
And
great.
she's still here.
I love you, babe.
Yeah.
just-
But I agree. I also don't want to still be here. So I'm oh God, I know. Times, yeah, I'm ready to go.
yeah. No, I'm
yeah.
like, and this is the thing too, like in terms of like being like interesting, like I've dated other comedians and I've dated like actors. They're not interesting.
No.
None of us are that interesting.
No.
We have to talk all the time in a desperate bid to be interesting.
Oh.
You can tell it's like people who are racist and then their whole thing is they have all these reasons, these canned reasons that they're not racist. And it's like funny because like I don't have any of this because I'm just not racist. But, like if I'm so racist, then why do I already have 3 prepared reasons I'm not? Interesting.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like comedians are the same way.
I
It's like,
love
if I'm
the
so
comparison.
interesting.
No, but look, I have these bits. Look at
Yeah.
my reel.
Yeah, right.
This has 3,000 views.
Oh, I'm not interesting. Do you want to hear a type 5 about how I jerked off today? Maybe that'll change your mind.
What do you hear the part about the ball?
Yeah. The way I describe my balls are so fucking
Echoes
good.
of Carlin.
I fucking swear to God, I'm gonna hear some straight male comic on Tuesday night at Brownies, brand new, just on 2 sets. Be like,
Uh-huh.
I feel like I kind of got like a George Carlin thing going on. Yeah, go ahead. Now compare yourself to Gandhi and Jesus.
Yeah,
and you'll be
please.
great. Ready to go.
See, like I wish I had like hooked up with enough comedians that I'd be like tired of it or had because I'm
Oh,
still
honey.
in I will forever be in that phase where like I just develop crushes that will never go anywhere because most of these guys are heterosexuals and most of them are disgusting. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm a chuckle fucker in my heart of hearts. I really and I also am into actors. I also love bartenders. Of course, I'm single.
Yeah, you just like red flags. That's
Yeah.
what you're into. It's like, what's my personality? What's my type? A red
Yeah,
flag.
the other guy that I'm dating, other than the weed dealer, is an actor / bartender.
Oh God, no.
So masochistic.
He's very good. He's very good.
Yeah.
He's a very good bartender, a very good actor.
He's a very good actor. He's
Okay,
also a fantastic
I
bartender.
don't think I've ever seen him act, and I need to. I haven't seen a play since I graduated.
Well, honestly,
Oh.
when you are required, it's like when you're in school and you have to read books, and all of a sudden you lose your love for reading once you
Yeah.
have to see plays all the time.
You lose your love for plays.
So uninteresting.
Oh my God, yeah,
And actors are. Maybe it's because of going to acting school. I feel the same way. I think they're so uninteresting,
yeah.
and I just don't trust a word a performer says. Like it may be in a completely projecting way where I'm like, no one should trust a fucking word I say. Maybe.
I was
Like,
just like, yeah, I have a nice expansion there.
Right. Yeah. The nervousness of like, am I a fraud? So therefore they all are too.
Oh my God.
But I just feel like it is very difficult to tell. Like, I don't know how often you guys ever like go to the West Coast.
no,
but
not that often.
whenever I'm there, I would say like a couple times a year. And it is the least sincere. I mean, this is not a hot take. This is like the most universal take in the world. But the lack of sincerity is so eye-opening when you go there. And like I have so many friends there who are, trying to date on the West Coast, even not just LA, but even like Portland and stuff. And I just it was really eye-opening, like meeting those people and then coming back to Philly and seeing a lot of similarities. I'm like, man, I really say like Philly's so different. Like we are so sincere, but not in the performer world, you know?
I mean, like, I don't think any performer is like, but I will. Okay. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up since my senior year of college. So end of 2017.
Okay. Where'd you start?
So they offered my senior year the Berserkers. So Brad Wren, Justin Jane, and Dave Johnson, the 3 of them offered a comedy class. And it was the entire year. And I always knew like I was very funny, but I never knew any way to hone it. And being in acting school was always like cry all the time, like be really serious. And so senior year, they offered this and they did like a third of it was improv, a third sketch, a third stand-up. So we all tried everything. And then we did our first, like our final was doing the stand-up, whatever. And then Justin and Brad and Dave, like afterwards were like, you you should do this. Like it seems like this is your one of the 3 comedy ones. Like you should do stand up more. And then I interned at Good Good, RIP.
Yeah.
And which is how I think I said this to you already, but that's how I like, you were always like a little celebrity to me. Cause I was like 22 years old, like making the posters with your face on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then I interned at Good Good, ran the booth at the bucket mic, you know, and just got to see because oh my God, how many fucking people got covered in that bucket mic? It was like I never did it because I never knew when I was gonna go up. Yeah.
Also,
it was exhausting. And so I just, you know, got to see a lot of comedy, like a lot more comedy. And it was like the summer after graduating. So I was like, maybe I hate acting. Maybe I fucking hate theater. I hate like seriousness. And maybe I just want to do comedy.
Yeah.
And so then started doing it then, bartended all of that. And then maybe 3 years ago, started doing it full time.
Oh,
or not, maybe 2.5 years ago, not even. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's I've been
freshish.
I hated acting school, and I started by wanting to fuck comedians. That was my end.
Yep. My biggest crush as a kid. My biggest crush as a child was Mike Birbiglia.
Wow. You're a personality person.
I am a personality slut.
Sleepwalk with me.
I like literally, I was just like, I want to fuck half of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I going to get their attention? Well, I'm going to go do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fucked a lot of comedians. Turns out you don't actually have to be a comedian to fuck comedians.
No.
But then I was just like, oh, I prefer this to fucking comedians.
Yeah.
Because the second you go home with one, you're just like, oh, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
And stop talking.
And you
I bet they
realize-
think the same about me.
Right. I was going to say, you realize the dream is you want to be the comedian everyone wants to fuck.
Oh,
and
God.
that's the full circle.
Have you ever had one? A chuckle fucker? Somebody come up to you?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah. I perform at colleges a lot. So yes. Colleges, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'll come up to you after your next show if you want.
Thank you, please. I need this.
In
Okay,
disguise.
So,
yeah.
You come. So people come up to you.
Oh yeah. Well, I perform at colleges a lot. And
okay.
I started doing that at like 26. And they are ruthless. I mean, like, especially because like you stay on the college campuses. And so like I therefore have to like, if I'm going to get food or a drink afterwards, like I'm in the area, you know, I try to stay as far away as I can, but like so many of them will come up to me after shows and be like, and it's so funny because a lot of them it's like orientation when you bring in a performer. So a lot of them are like 18, 19, and they're like, wow. So we're like having like a thing after this, like at like my buddy's dorm if you want to come.
Have you ever gone through with it? Have you
Never in a million fucking years. Not only because they're, you know, 18, or even if they were like 22, still never, because the colleges pay too much. I would never want to lose my fucking job for that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely like the people who I think people find it very endearing. And actually, I'm curious what you think as a gay man. Like, do you find it endearing when a woman is funny more so than a man?
I guess naturally, yes.
Okay.
I of course have gravitated first to funny women before funny men. So yes, I do. I love it.
Because I wasn't sure if that's like a thing that is you have to be sexually attracted to women to find it charming when they're funny, or if it is like a universal thing.
I definitely feel like it's also whoever gravitates to you, you know, like I have some of the most positive experiences I have, even with like crowd work, because that can go fucking haywire, has been with gay men. They're like supportive, and it's like a thing where I made the mistake of thinking these two people were together because they were sitting next to each other, and I was like, couple, and they went, oh no, and I was like, oh, so viciously gay. And then like that's like the thing, it's like, you know, it's just like, I think also part of it too for me is like to feel seen and to feel appreciated. And then like, you know, when you're like foul and disgusting, like that, who are you going to get? Straight guys who are intimidated by a woman being gross? No, you're going to get like a gay guy who's just like, please fucking say it.
Yeah. I was saying to Jamie recently about how like, you know, there's comics who were like, oh, I do really well in like black rooms or whatever. And I was like, I do really well in gay rooms. And I think it's from going to college for theater where like, I didn't meet a straight man till we graduated. And I'm like, that is, I feel like maybe a lot of my jokes, like I do have some like theater-y kind of jokes. Like, you know how like Mulaney wouldn't have to make a joke about theater for you to be like, that guy did theater in high school. Although honestly, I got one of the biggest compliments of my life not that long ago from Manny Brown, who I said something on stage about going to college for musical theater, and he heard me do it a couple times and then pulled me aside and was like, "Is that true?" And he was like, "I never would have guessed that." And I was like, "If you had met me a couple years ago, it was glaring. That's such an honor that you could not tell."
I was just like, stop flirting with me.
Stop talking to me like this. You're going to make me fall in love with you.
Wait, okay. What audiences gravitate towards you the most?
I have no draw. What are you talking about? What audience? What audience? Driftwood drifts towards me.
I feel like women.
Load.
I have had friends who have seen you at shows. You and I did a show together last summer at a Poe-themed bar that will remain nameless. And I remember like everyone was high out of their minds. It was like, like really like all the comics just like smoking while the audience is coming in, started like 45 minutes late. And it was like a paid show. And I remember my friends who come to see my shows all the time. So they've seen a lot of comedy in Philly, like specifically said like how much they loved you and thought that you were very funny. Granted, they're also went to school for theater. So they might be like that energy, but
natural there. That's your draw. Theater people.
Yeah, right.
I'll take it.
I mean, it's not. It's also like everybody who has seen you that are friends of mine. They're just like, "Oh, Alejandro is great."
Yeah.
Yeah, you have draw.
Great,
Hush
yeah.
up. Oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been able to hook up with somebody after a show, but it's usually like comics will come up to me like over the course of time and be like, "Yeah, I have a crush on you," or like, "Oh, like would you like to get a drink with me sometime?" And then like I started being like, I don't date comics, you know, but every once in a while, depending on the comic, I'll be like, okay, this is a one-off.
Yeah.
I could quit comedy for you.
Yeah, right.
Throw away my dream.
I could quit it.
Yeah.
I had one stranger wait for me after a show at Helium.
Let's go.
I had hosted at Helium. Yes, it's only
Wait
ever
for you.
happened once. He waited a while because I was hanging out in the green room, just dicking around, smoking weed, whatever. And this guy waited, and so I came onto the lobby, and he was like, started talking to me, and he was, not I don't know, not the most attractive dude, but like I was flattered. So
Did you go home with him?
Yeah, I went home with. Yeah, I brought him home.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a chuckle fucker. I caught one.
Yeah. I gotta join the club. I think what I should start doing is I should stop inviting dudes I'm dating to see shows, and I should just find a dude through the show.
Yeah. You gotta. That's the thing, is especially if you ever like say that on stage, like,
I'm
"Oh,
single.
my partner's here" or whatever. Then everybody's like, "Okay, we're
right.
no chance."
There's
Yeah,
no point.
yeah. I had somebody wait for me after a show last year, and I thought it was gonna be a chuckle fucker. I thought that was the vibe.
Yeah.
And they closed down, and like the whole bar was closed. Like Mike kicked out like all the comics and stuff. My brother and Mike were in the same frat, and so like at Helium, Mike from Helium, and so like Mike like let me stay after, and it was just like me and my brother and a couple friends, and then this guy who we all started to realize like no one knew, and like eventually Mike was like, "Dude, you got to go. Like this is like just immediate friends, like not even other comics," and he was like, "Oh, I'm waiting for her." And we were all like, "You don't have to. That's not."
Yeah.
No thanks. He was like probably in like his 40s, 50s. And then we were like, I was like, "What's he going to say about me? Like, ask him what he thinks about me." And he was like, I want to pray for her. I want to pray for her.
Oh God.
She's sick, and I want to pray
That's
for her.
a very different vibe than I thought.
Yeah, but it was super scary, and like it felt very like culty, like somebody trying to be like, "Have you heard the good word?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See,
It got chills down my spine.
That is giving me chills.
Yeah, it was the worst. I was like, the worst thing he's gonna say is some like gross, he's drunk, he's gonna say something gross about like me wanting to fuck me, whatever. And then it was that, and I was like, I didn't even have that as an option. Now that I was wrong, that's the worst thing he could have said.
Oh.
He wanted to pray for me.
oh God. Well, now at least you know that like if a dude's like a disgusting pervert and said something foul, at least he didn't say that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. At least, right. I was like, all he wanted to do was pray for me. And I was like, I cannot pray. You cannot pray for me, but I will fuck you. And I did. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've had Speaking of fucking people that see your comedy,
Yeah.
I've had people that I've written jokes about them, and then it's been not a nice joke, and then they've come to the show, and I just still tell the joke.
Good for you.
But I
Good
try
for
to curb it. I try to curb it a little, but like, no, I can't. There was a guy whose favorite drink was milk. I'm not making fun of that.
It's funny.
It's so good. And then like I ran into him like months later because he came to my restaurant, and I was just like, oh hey, and he was like, hey, you still doing that bit about me? And I was like, don't make this. No, this isn't nice. I literally have an entire room of people aghast at your preferences. I'm not being nice to you.
It is foul. I mean, when I was like serving and bartending, and an adult would come in and get an adult milk, as we would call it.
What? People did that
Often.
Where were you?
So I used to, do you know like the Feliz restaurants? There's like Cantina Feliz in Fairmount, Cantina Feliz in Fort Washington, Taqueria Feliz in Manayunk. So I used to like work, it's like a Mexican restaurant.
Right.
I used to work there, and we would have people who would come in because like they're very picky, I guess, and their friends wanted Mexican, and they like didn't, and they were miserable about it, and they didn't want like a margarita, they didn't want anything with any flavor. And we had Pepsi products. And so instead of just being like, there's the joke of like oh, can I have a Coke? We only have Pepsi. And then it's like, fine, then I'll just have a water instead.
Yeah.
He was like, fine, a milk. Fine.
Oh my God.
Fine.
Ew.
How is that such a natural, like, no.
Can you imagine if your server was like, do you have Coke? No, but we have milk. We have whole milk. Would that be good for you?
I'm going to try that actually. And if I don't get a big tip from that, I'll be like, okay, well,
disgusting.
it's like when you do a joke at a mic and it bombs, and you're just like, well, okay.
Yeah, got it.
The only person I feel a little bit weird doing jokes about that I went on a date with is I went on a date with the heir to a cheesesteak fortune here in Philadelphia. I don't like to say too much more than that because there's only so many cheesesteak fortunes to go around.
I actually very much think I know who you're talking about because somebody told me a story recently about meeting the heir to a cheesesteak fortune and not knowing that this person was gay. And so now I'm thinking maybe I know what you're talking about.
So we went to the cheesecake factory on a date. While he dropped names, basically just told me about all the things that he could do for me, all the people he could introduce me to. Very wheelie dealy kind of a date. Like, hey, he like a cigar. Join me, kid. I'm gonna make you a star. We'll meet Joan Rivers. This is a long time ago.
If he offered that recently, don't take him up on it. Do not take him up on it.
So I always felt like a little strange, being like, that's kind of like a public person, but it's part of my story too. It's part of my story.
Yeah, you're also allowed. I know that's also the hard part when you want to write a joke about something that happens, especially romantically, and you're like, is it my story to tell? But then it's like, it happened to me. Yeah, it also happened to me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You would just have to change. I feel like although it's tough because the cheesesteak heir is what's so funny because we're in Philly. Yeah. There's nothing that comparable, like a hoagie, like heir to a hoagie fortune or something,
or the Wawa, the CEO of Wawa's son. A Wawa royalty.
I don't. You know what? I have no knowledge of a CEO or how old that son may be, so I am not going to touch that. Cut that right out.
I have to do a little research. But let's say, okay, Wawa CEO. Okay, who would you rather?
I'm seeing a reality dating show unfold. We got the tasty cake heir. We got the cheesesteak heir. We got the Wawa heir.
Yeah. This is Pennsylvania Roy. That's a dating show.
We got the Acme. We got somebody from the Acme. And they fuck.
Do you want to marry an heir?
Marry an heir. Oh my gosh.
We've got a show.
Oh my God.
They're all trying to be romantic, but they have the most filthy accents you've ever heard. They're like, do you want to go to the fucking Poking?
Today, Tina, I've decided that you are going to be.
Tina, I love you more than Jalen Hurts. I love you more than Jalen Hurts. That time he got 3 rushing touchdowns in one game, breaking a record since 1973. She's like, babe, don't fucking say it if you don't mean it.
Let me try. I want to make this house a home.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah. Someone has to make Lee's Hoagie House a Lee Hoagie's home. If you think about it.
You're going to be my girl. Oh my God.
But you know what? That's one last thing that I'm going to say, and I'll shut the fuck up forever. I promise. But I dated this guy who had like the most thick heavy South Philly accent, and I loved it. The hoagie mouth, and I loved it. I thought it was so hot. He had an Eagles license plate.
Let's go.
Yes, just deep South Philly. Lived with his dad. They had a very complicated relationship, and he was like, he was so masculine that he had no rhythm in bed.
Ooh.
That's how manly he was. He just did not know how to move his hips to any kind of rhythm whatsoever. Yeah, kind of just very like spastic thrusts, and they didn't come evenly. You know.
Oh no!
Like only girls have rhythm.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Fellas, is it gay to have rhythm?
But I mean, you've gotten fucked. So like some men have a real like. They just their whole body moves like water. It's really impressive.
I think,
and then other guys are a little,
they move like the Skull.
For me.
Like the Skull on crew boating day.
I've only ever that usually happens when they come. That's just
right when
vinegar strokes and then they're done, and it's just like, oh, okay. That's why I like pat them on the back. Okay, now.
Okay, sweetie, good game. Really good game.
It's like burping a baby. Just patting the last of the cum.
Yeah, right. You got it, Slugger.
Oh my, yeah. I feel like I go between two extremes of like who really turns me on. And one, it's hoagie mouth, labor, like works with his hands, just like construction worker guy, or unfortunately on the other end, young Republican. I know it's a really guilty pleasure, but like somebody who I fucking hate so much, and they're so rich, and they're just like, what? Like, I don't need to give away my wealth. Like, I'll do it when I die, and it's just like, I'll fucking kill you. How are you gonna kill me? With my fucking pussy? I will fuck you so hard.
I am very much. I've never like put that into words before, but I do definitely have a similar, I think, kink of the like guy with opinions that make me want to fucking throw him into the stratosphere, but with the context of like, I feel like it comes from the like, I feel like I could change him. I feel like I could teach him. I feel like I could teach him. I could be a lesson to him, whatever.
100%.
But no, totally. Yeah. There's like the guys who are obviously not the like faith and flag kind of Republicans, but the like Romney Ryan bumper sticker kind of
old school ones before they were fucking crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now it's just a rich liberal guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, whoa. Be respectful. He's socially liberal. He's fiscally conservative. Okay.
It's basically a libertarian.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He is a gay friend. Okay.
He's an ally.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely dated the first guy I dated after I broke up with like my very long term, like, well, it felt long term in high school, but like Thane, after my first boyfriend, we went through a breakup. I was very like, I'm the one who did it, but I was very heartbroken still because it's hard, It's like even harder when you do it because you could just change your mind at any moment and go back and you're like, no, Kier.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like pull back. And so I started hooking up with and dating some guy I worked with like at a restaurant, tale as old as time, right? And he was like in a frat at LaSalle.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Not my best moment. And he like diehard, like country music fan kind of guy, like just like so opposite of what I was about to go into at UArts, but it just like felt very, I don't know. Like I just like wanted to experience like other kinds of people because I also grew up in a very liberal household. So I was like, let's see what this is like, and it was 0 out of 10. It was fucking awful. He called women females. It was it was awful, but it made me feel good knowing I was going to break this guy's heart. Just a little.
You were richer for the experience.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I have a conservative ex as well.
Oh,
he had an F-150.
No.
Yeah, he liked country music.
Love it
for sure. Yeah, and he was like, so. And we dated for 2.5 years, and we fought all the time.
What was it like knowing conservative gays is always just mind blowing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he was an asshole. I don't know. Oh, but I love him. He might be listening. He's semi-supportive.
It's the worst when the ex is supportive. I'm just like, get out of my life, but keep watching my reels.
Right. But please like, share, and subscribe on your way out.
All right. So is there anything that you want to plug while you're here?
Yeah, I guess just the Dying Up Here. Is this my camera? No, it has to be, right? Yeah. The Dying Up Here podcast on the Drop 10 Media Network. We release every Tuesday. And what else? I guess go to my website, kirstenmichelle.com. I have dates all summer. Please come see them. I make a lot more money if you come see them. And also, now that I'm 30, this is basically my farewell tour. So like, you don't want to miss the opportunity.
Don't miss this. It'll never happen again.
Any show could be my last. You want to be there.
Well, then I'm glad we had you on the podcast.
Oh my God. Can you imagine this is the last thing I ever do?
I would milk that to the end.
That's to date us.
Oh my God.
That's to date us. Oh yeah, because at the end of every podcast, I don't know if you know, you're dating us now.
We're dating.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys.
We're dating.
Well, then I'm not single. Let's go.
Let's fucking
Let's
go.
go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We're dating and listening and bye. And bye.
Bye.
You know what is an amazing idea, Rachel?
What's an amazing idea?
Liking and subscribing
Oh my God, you're very, very right.
to us.
To us at we.r.datingpod on Instagram, and you can find us under that on YouTube as well.
That's right. That's we.r.datingpod, and that's the letter R.
Yeah, that was my bad.
You'll figure it out.
Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at drop10.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcasts, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it, and we're 100% DIY. Just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this, and give us some feedback. We always enjoy a little feedback. Thanks.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.